Hey guys, it's Channel Jacker here again for another installment of Jacked In. And this topic I want to bring up is been kind of a touchy one. Magical mystery cure. And before you say anything, it's not going to be a rant. Jacked In is not for rants. It's for a calm or calmer analysis of a certain topic that is really hot right now. And right now, that is this episode in the My Little Pony community. And I would just like to point out once again that these are my opinions on the show. But not just my opinions. I'm going to be featuring a couple of opinions as to why people like this episode, why people hate this episode, and what I thought was wrong with the episode, as calmly and as thoroughly as possible. So without any further ado, I would like to present to you, Jacked In, why people love and hate Magical Mystery Cure, and where does Season 4 go from here. Enjoy. First, let's do a little synopsis of Magical Mystery Cure. Written by M.A. Larson, even though I don't hold that against him, Magical Mystery Cure is the Season 3 finale of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. In short, it opens up with Twilight Sparkle, the leader of the main six, finding out that there is a big problem with her friends, and in turn, finding out the problem, fixing it, and then getting zapped into some special dimension where Celestia turns her into an Alicorn princess without any warning or being asked. Also, while 7 songs compete for your attention and pretty much fail while doing so. If you haven't already guessed, if you are new to this channel, I am someone who hates Magical Mystery Cure. I have already run down a lot of reasons why I hate this episode in our Magical Mystery Cure review and part 1 of our top 12 My Little Pony Season 3 episodes from worst to best. But as a brief synopsis, nothing in this episode was done right. To the timing, to the song, to the interaction, to the payoff, to the everything. To top it off, this episode shouldn't exist, and it's Hasbro's fault. It's the cherry on top of the hate pile. And yet, there is surprisingly not a lot of hate for this episode. Don't get me wrong, there is, but it's vastly outnumbered by the total love for it. And it's depressing to see. Our StoryTroller review and the Orange Insanity's review of the episode seem to be the only ones who really rip it a new one. So why is that? Why do people like this episode? Why does it have so many likes? Why are the songs beloved? And why isn't there a lot of hate? Well, in all honesty, I can see why in a few cases. The main reason is because a lot of people in the My Little Pony community, especially hardcore bronies, will defend the show and any flaw it has to their absolute deaths. They care not for plot holes, rushed concepts, or anything like that. It's honestly hard to reason with them. It's kind of pointless to try. However, not all of the people who like this episode are these particular people. Some people like Josh Scorcher even liked what the episode was, even being okay with Alicorn Twilight Sparkle. And even I said I'd be okay with it if it was done right. But to me, it wasn't. So why do people who aren't in this category still love this episode? There are a lot of popular, more thought-out bronies out there, like DigiBrony, who found this episode utterly perfect. That for what they had, the pacing was perfect, and for the time they had, they used the songs perfectly, and it was just perfect. It didn't need to be a two-parter. He also absolutely loved Alicorn Twilight Sparkle, saying that this is the start of a whole new story arc with endless possibilities. I wholeheartedly disagreed, as did Addict. We went to him with our opinions on our review, but he said he was on completely different wavelengths with us, and it didn't help that he skimmed our review either. Regardless, DigiBrony is one of the many who think that this episode is perfect. The songs are emotional and the storyline is perfectly paced. The episode is perfect in every way, and just like Twilight says in the episode, everything's fine and it's gonna be just fine. Well, I can say along with people like Orange Insanity backing me that they just can't see exactly why people hate this. It's like something is wrong with people who find flaws in this episode. It's like a religion almost, to love this episode.
Jesu Domine, dona eis requiem.
And if you don't, you are cast out in some sort of exile. Well, I'm here to focus on the points in detail of why exactly I don't like this episode, and why many people seem to disagree. I don't expect any die-hard bronies to listen, but I have a voice and I'm going to use it. First off, it's a musical. Nothing in the advertisement said this was a musical at all. Now, a lot of people like musicals. I am indifferent, and Addict, as said, is 50-50 on My Little Pony songs in general. When you don't advertise it's a musical, and leaked rumors are not an advertisement, it gets a lot of people angry. especially ones who don't see those leaked rumors. You're trying to watch an episode that is a pinnacle of a giant change in the entire foundation of a series, and you can't focus. Why? Because you have 7 songs and about all of them are pointless. And I'm dead serious. These songs have no point. Morning in Ponyville is telling stuff we already know, about how great Ponyville is and nothing can go wrong, and by the way, don't ever say that in a show, especially a show when everything has gone wrong in this town. And it's unneeded. As Argent Sanity pointed out, all this led to was a payoff of a joke that could have been explained in the span of 10 seconds if needed. Twilight goes out of her house, water falls on her, boom. There's the problem set up without a useless song. Cutie Mark is telling me, okay, I agree this is one of the least horrible of the 7. It does set up the point quickly, it does show them all in their problem, I agree with that. And the voices and the little jokes in it were okay.
Looky here at what I made, I think that it's a dress.
The song I just dubbed the Moping Song is another pointless song. You could have easily just shown all of the main 6 with the background music and no lyrics. It would have conveyed much more of an emotion. However, we then see that this song is completely pointless when Twilight does a complete emotional 180 and finds out the solution in the span of minutes. And I'm not kidding. 5 minutes, maybe even less. Time well spent. And then there's the True Friends. I hate this song. It's annoying, it's repetitive, it's unneeded, it's blatantly ripped off of Discord's episode in terms of returning the memories to the ponies, which I still don't get to begin with. And did I mention it's annoying? Because it is. It's so annoying and I wish so many people didn't like it and cried during it. I was crying during it, but for a different reason. Because I wanted it to end. Celestia's little number. Okay. I can see why people like it. It's Celestia singing. It's a big moment in the series. Here is your problem. The big surprise and emotion of this song is killed because of the other songs put in front of it. Instead of having it as, oh my god, Celestia is singing a song, it turned into, oh my god, now Celestia is singing, when will it end? Destroying what could have been a good moment, because of all the other useless songs before it. Princess Twilight Cometh is useless, and even more for the fact that it just glorifies Princess Twilight even more. As if you needed to ruin the equality of the show even more, let's behold her even more and really hammer in how above everyone else she is now. And finally, the Light and Equestria reprise. It's a reprise of the beginning, just as useless, and even worse, it ends with Twilight flying into our faces, completely ruining the story idea, and a great and simple one, which I mentioned in my Magical Mystery Cure review. If you haven't seen that idea, I'll leave a link to the original review where you can see it. Even though this episode isn't supposed to exist, it does, and we wanted to see what they could do with it. And it's molded and held down by a song every 5 minutes or less, and I'm not exaggerating. Second, for the musical to really make sense, the songs need to have a point. Only 2 songs I could see in this episode having a point. Cutie Mark is Telling Me and Celestia's Number for the Emotion. 2 songs out of 7. That's really, really bad. The other songs just take up time. If we had just 2 songs in this episode, I saw it at least being a little better than it was. A liked episode by me? Probably not, but at least a song wouldn't be chewing your ear off every 2 minutes. Third, Advertise It. This is the same problem Atlantis Square Pantis had. It did not advertise its musical and it ticked a lot of people off, and this had the exact same problem. You need to explain and tell what the episode is going to be. A lot of people don't like surprises, especially musicals, and especially for this premise. If they had advertised it, at least we could have braced ourselves. Even Josh Scorcher, who liked this episode, hates musicals. I'm just saying a heads up would have been nice. And finally, if you are going to do a musical, you need to do it right. Have a 2-parter or an episode that is just straight through music, and have it be done right with the right plot point, like Flim and Flam returning to seek their revenge on Ponyville and the Apple Farm with a tricked-out war machine or something. This is something I mentioned during Magic Duel. Flim and Flam are already an homage to the Music Man.
Well, you've got opportunity in this very community.
Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City.
What do you say, sister?
Oh, we got opportunity in this very community.
Trouble! Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City.
He's Flam with the welfare Slim Flam Brothers. Travel and sales for his non-power.
Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys band.
And have one of the favorite songs of the entire series in terms of me and Addict's opinions. That's a musical we would like to see, and it could be done in a 22-minute span if paced right, or an epic two-parter with the songs a little more spaced out if needed. I'm just saying in terms of putting a musical somewhere, they failed here. Horribly. Just like Atlantis Square-Pantis. But I will be fair and say that this is the much worse musical of the two. At least Daniel Ingram gave us good background music. He's always good. With that out of the way, let's get to the other topic everyone seems to love. Alicorn Princess Twilight Sparkle. It's already established she shouldn't exist. It was a Hasbro gimmick to make toys, and it was out of the writer's control. Despite that, people gush over just how great this is. Equality Destruction and Mary Sue debate aside, which I mentioned in my Magical Mystery Cure review, Orange Insanity said it best. Celestia said Twilight was ready to be a princess, and one line discredited that.
What do I do now? Is there a book about being a princess I should read?
That line alone shows she isn't ready at all, and it's just a bonehead mistake just completely canceling out what you just said. Twilight didn't ask to be an Alicorn princess. I'm shocked she's going with it at all. But then again, as shown, the characters barely act like they would, even out of their curses. The big problem people have like me is this. What did she do? What did she do to become a princess? She finished a spell. Just wrote something on the paper, and all of a sudden, that is a spell. Not proven. She never recited the thing all at once. We don't know what the spell is. But, apparently, that's all it takes to get wings. Which begs the question Insanity also put out, why exactly is this the rite of passage? Twilight has done countless better things to earn her princessdom. Why is this the final straw? Is this the rite of passage for all Alicorns? Star Swirl the Bearded wrote new magic. Why is he not an Alicorn prince? Because he couldn't understand friendship? If so, that's incredibly stupid, as he wrote new magic countless times. Cadence was normal when we saw her in flashbacks. An Alicorn, but seemingly living a normal life. She wasn't a princess, for what we know. How did she become a princess? As Insanity said, was she a prodigy? Was she born as an Alicorn? We don't know. There are so many plot holes surrounding the Alicorn princess thing and all the stuff that has been explained. But the fact that Twilight is a princess, and even though Celestia said it, she isn't ready to be a princess, it was a very crap payoff and made no sense at all. Now people say that it's all worth it, and none of it matters because Twilight fulfilled her destiny. Destiny, destiny, destiny. Okay, I get that this is a subject that's touchy, that Twilight did what she was supposed to do, and she's reached the top. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have wanted Twilight to become a princess, even an Alicorn princess. Later, and that's your problem. It's too soon. Even people who love the episode complained about the pacing and how quick this happened. The whole transformation, this whole fulfilling your destiny, this whole reaching the top, shouldn't exist. It was for the toys. That's it. So the whole happiness and love over Twilight reaching her dream is completely discredited because it wasn't supposed to happen. It's just another reason to hate Hasbro. Even Nostalgia Critic made fun of how poorly done this all was and blamed Hasbro for it.
Out of there, where do you find these people?
Is that your dad? Tell him I blame him for that abomination of a third season.
Dad, CR blames you for the entire third... Where are we going?
Come on, I'm going to show you an evil worse than Hasbro.
Again, I'm not saying Twilight couldn't be a princess, but it shouldn't have happened now, and it's been proved it wasn't supposed to happen now. With all this said, Season 4 is supposed to come out later this year. So, what do they do? I have a storyline idea that can fix almost all of this. Keep in mind this is just my opinion. It's going to differ. Some people are completely fine with it. Some people love it. Some people are on the fence about it until they see Season 4, and some people completely despise it. I am in the realm of I completely despise how this went, but have faith in the writers for Season 4 so long as Hasbro stays out of it. But here's what I would do. Okay, it's been pointed out that a lot of things didn't make sense in this episode. From the pacing, to the songs, to the princess thing out of nowhere, which I agree with. And that got me thinking, where is the place where things don't make sense the most? Where can you fulfill all your hopes and desires quick, easy, and almost impossibly? Dreams. Dreams are a realm where people wouldn't act like they normally would. Things happen that you don't expect. Some dreams are rushed. Some dreams are methodical. Good, bad, you can never predict them. What is Twilight's biggest dream? To be what Celestia is. She wants to reach the top. She wants to be all she can. And I'm sure the possibility of being an Alicorn princess would exactly be that. Her friends accepting it easily and barely questioning it's happening, Her being ready even though she says she isn't, everyone saying she is, bowing to her, worshipping her, everything being great, I can see it as her biggest dream. And that's how this could be played out. What if a new villain is being set up that has Twilight stuck in an eternal dream of some sort, where her greatest dreams have come true, everything is fulfilled, and she couldn't be happier? Then the dream starts to slowly turn dark, and depressing, and bad. All the while the villain is slowly draining Twilight's magic, which is why the dream is getting progressively bad, and the reality of the dream of the facade is starting to crumble. Her life as a princess getting harder and harder in the process. Now this could be a new villain or even an established villain like Sombra or Chrysalis. It wouldn't be out of the question for Chrysalis to suck the love out of Twilight, which she has for everyone, or Sombra to try and steal her magic for his own. But again, this is all speculation anyway, so it could be either Sombra or Chrysalis or a new villain. Everyone seemed to notice Discord was also not in the episode, not anywhere to be seen for her coronation. Discord is a master of all things that make no sense. It's believable that he could be called on to try and get her out of the dream. Now you can say, but Luna is a master of dreams, it was shown in Sleepless in Ponyville. Well, Chrysalis, Sombra, or new villain could anticipate that and have a way to block her, which is why she's shown at the ceremony. Discord and Keep Calm and Flutter On was established to use his powers for good now, so perhaps this could be his first task he's called upon to do. I know a lot of people would be thrilled about that, and also this would cancel out the whole Alicorn Princess thing, but would still give Twilight an understanding of how hard it could be, and that she has got a lot to learn before she is ready to take the task. That way, Hasbro gets their toy, and the dynamic of the series isn't changed because, as said, it's way too soon in my opinion for this, and it leads to a great two-part saga to open up Season 4. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion, but in terms of cleaning up the plot holes and why things don't make sense, this is the way I'm seeing it have the best end result, and I hope it's something along those lines. I have faith in the writers that they can do it, and again, as long as Hasbro leaves them alone. And that's my analysis of My Little Pony Season 3 Finale Magical Mystery Cure, and why I dislike it, and other people dislike it, and other people like it. What do you think? Leave comments, leave feedback, even if your opinion differs. I spoke my voice just like Orange Insanity did, and just like others did. Even if your opinion differs, let your voice be heard as to why you liked the episode, or why you disliked the episode. Agree or disagree. Feedback is appreciated. Just be constructive with it. Don't flame, don't troll, just be constructive and voice your opinion. That's completely fine. So, this has been the Season 3 Magical Mystery Cure review. This has been another Jacked In. I'm Channel Jacker, and until next time, we are the StoryTrollers.